Welcome back. Oh my god, what a dramatic finish to one of the best test matches I think I've seen after a long, long time. I think, yeah, I mean, we've seen Ben Stokes 2019, we've seen a lot of one sided affair after that in the Ashes, but this went down to the wire. Pat Cummins, last ball, the guy to get the runs. I was shivering throughout the last session. Like it was something else. Though I was on a neutral thing, मेरे को ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ा कौन जीतने वाला है कौन हारने वाला है, लेकिन जिस तरीके का मैच था, Australia managed to get over the line, and yeah, Ben Stokes drop catch, very difficult catch, drop catch, and yeah, England bowlers couldn't get the last two wickets.
Yeah, it was that kind of game, bro. Like, in the beginning, you just have to applaud the match, both teams' efforts. It was incredible. Stuart Broad, man, he was going to die. He put his body on the line. Even Ben Stokes said that in the presentation, bowling over after over. I think in the field, England, yes, there was a drop catch here and there, but they were very sharp in terms of the ground fielding. When Khwaja was batting, they were stopping a lot of boundaries, single doubles, and putting pressure, and that led to Khwaja's wicket. The way Australia batted, they grinded it out, man. It was completely different to baseball, completely opposite, but it was effective for them in the end. And I would say at one stage, 50 runs needed, 2 wickets left. Everyone thought probably England's going to win this game, right? That's what we all thought. And we didn't get a last minute twist where maybe Cummins or Lyon gets out and Hazelwood comes in, but still it was an incredible game. And for Cummins and Lyon to put up that partnership, and kitne 55 runs ka partnership tha. Oh, incredible batting. It's very difficult, bro, for two bowlers.
How
to
many
do what
body
they did.
shots, man? Pat
Yeah.
Cummins took like 6-7 body shots on Stuart Broad's bowling, Ollie Robinson's bowling. मतलब जिस हिसाब से उन्हें इंटेंट से निकल के आया था, like captain, leader, I am the one, I am the savior type situation था. And yeah, Nathan Lyon, क्या शॉट हमारा, you look like Ashwin के साथ प्रॉपर बैट्समैन बन गया उन्हें भी.
वो जो
Like,
चौवा
हाँ,
मारा मिडान के
मिडान
ऊपर
के ऊपर से, ओफ क्या शॉट था भाई.
And bhai, Chirag bhai reminded me, even Scott Boland, we can't forget about him, bro.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah, I told
the
Scott
tail,
Boland.
the tail enders, bro, winning it for Australia. And yeah, this is what you want to see. I think, of course, there will be a lot of criticism of Ben Stokes के बारे में बोलेंगे, declaration के बारे में बोलेंगे, but in the end of the day, there was all three results possible. Yes, maybe the draw was coming out of it, like it was never going to be really on the cards. But
Yeah.
the way both teams played, I think it was incredible. And England could have won this game with the same tactics. Even with declaring, you still have 50 runs to defend with 2 wickets. So I don't think the declaration, I'm going to look too into it. But in the end, you have to also give Australia credit, man. Pat Cummins, the way he batted captain's innings, played, from the front. He took body shots. Even when there was only 4 or 5 runs required, he didn't do anything stupid. Did you see how many times he left the ball? He kept leaving it. He took body shots as well. Very sensible. And yeah, in the end, he hit the winning runs.
Agar, for example, England did not declare and hit up at 40, 60 more runs, let's just say for an argument, then you would have a draw probably the way it went, right?
Yeah,
Seven,
it could
six
have been a
overs,
draw then.
then it
Yeah,
would have
like
been a draw. So
you,
that's how
you,
I'm looking at it. Like
and
England did
also
entertain, and that's where Ben Stokes knows how to entertain the team. Like, I
they
mean,
had,
Joru Tha, yeah, yeah,
and one very important thing that I forgot and I just remembered now is that he didn't factor in Moeen Ali is going to get injured, bro. Like,
yeah.
if Moeen Ali was fully fit, I think England would probably in a much better
Much better
position to win
chance.
this.
Yeah.
Even
Again, then the
despite that,
catch is getting dropped and the
yeah,
bold no
even
balls and stuff like
exactly,
that. So all
bold
of
no
these
balls.
things
Yeah,
factor in. I
you
mean,
have to
people
look
will
at
obviously.
exactly. You have to look at that. If you look at his decision in isolation, right now in hindsight, you can blame it. But like I still
Nah.
feel what he did was correct, and I agree
Yeah.
with you. You're the one who told me about that. I know I've said in the past, like don't leave runs on the ground, just go and
Ground.
like
Yeah.
get all out if you need to. But if you see the actual match situation, that didn't affect it. It was the other situations, the no ball, drop catches, stumpings from
Yeah.
Bairstow, और फिर ये क्या बोलते हैं, so आपका मोइन अली नहीं डाल रहा भाई last inning में, unfortunately he got injured. You could see he was clearly in pain. He couldn't bowl. You have to take those things into factor. A
Yeah.
fully fit Moeen Ali, it becomes even more difficult for Australia to chase down these runs.
For me, see 23 runs of no balls, that's just not possible. Like, that's what I'm looking at. That's where England gave away runs as well. 23 runs worth of no ball, that's a lot of runs, right? Like, given the
Yeah.
context of this match, 23 runs if I'm saving by not no ball नहीं डालने के वजह से, तो भाई बहुत add हो जाता pressure. From 54 no would have been 73 runs required between the two. Apart from that, I think Khwaja and like the way Khwaja started, and again Green and him, they soaked in a lot of deliveries. Yes, it looks good, but sometimes loose deliveries you have to put it out. I mean, yes, Khwaja again tremendous 65 runs, 197 deliveries, but कहीं ना कहीं pressure add हो गया था, and like if they would have lost either Cummins or Lyon, then obviously that would have been done. But मेरे हिसाब से
Yeah.
वो crumble. बड़ी बात ये है कि Cummins and Lyon both came out very confident and didn't crumble to the Birmingham crowd shouting. You know, the every time Stuart Broad was pumping them up, like शुरू हो गया था पुकारना, like हम ना थके नहीं. I think Kevin Pitt commentary में भी एक बार बोला करें ना थक गया रोले, तो then they heard it on the commentary thing and someone told the other people and they started chanting again. So that the environment was spectacular. All 5 days full. I haven't enjoyed a test match like this.
Yeah.
Like Chirag Bhai said, I think New Zealand and Sri Lanka, that drama, the last minute drama that happened in that also, I think, well, New Zealand
Now,
and Sri
now
Lanka.
you know I don't take IPL as seriously as you guys. This is incredible, man.
A different format. I mean, different scene. Like you have more state representation, you have
What
more
did you
Indian
enjoy?
origin and
Did
stuff
you
like that.
enjoy like? But this you enjoyed a lot, right? Like, if you just
100%. See, that's the thing. Like
ना
this is
तुम्हारा
only
कोई
going. You're only
interest
going to
था
get this
इसमें
in. You're only
in
going to get test cricket में ना, like 4 sessions के अपराध. अब T20 का क्या है, एक दिन में मान यहाँ पहले बारिश हो रही, फिर ओवरकास्ट भी हो गया. England had a lot of things on their favor. They had a lot of things in their favor, but they just couldn't get it together. Robinson got green. They were looking well on their way, and then Ben Stokes, bichara, he tried his life.
Bro, he
Joru,
got Khwaja out, man. That was when he did that. I'm like, this guy is next level, man. This guy's Andrew Flintoff levels. अगर उन्हें आज मैच जिता दिया तो crazy रहता था. But I think from an England perspective, like you still have to look at the positives as well. They did play on the front foot
100%.
the whole time. They had Australia, like in the corner. And yes, there were mistakes and stuff, but like if they work on those mistakes, there's a lot of players rusty coming back from injuries, whether that's Anderson, Robinson, Bairstow. I think as the series progresses, these guys will be even more fit. Australia coming off, WTC final, they were a bit more better prepared. And as the series goes on, it's going to continue to be neck and neck. You can say Lords again might be must win for England. They have to show up and try to win this game. If they're 2-0 down in Ashes, things can look very ugly, but I think they have to take the positives out of this game and take that confidence. The way Joe Root batted, I think remarkable. भाई उन्हें कल 20 for 2 0 पे रिवर्स मार रहा कमिंस को,
Yeah.
और अगर उस पे आउट हुआ तो कितना तुम समझो कितना क्रिटिसिज्म रहेगा, सोचो बस कितना
100%,
क्रिटिसिज्म रहेगा.
100%.
But
अब
then
वही हो जाता, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है, ये वो नहीं है, वही सब बातें हो जाती है. बट वन
he
थिंग दैट
stood
आई वुड
there.
से,
Yeah.
some of the England players did throw their wickets. Like Bairstow, I think threw his wicket for me. Like Stokes, they got out on an LBW, but again, it was just like sometimes it's just unnecessary hitting shots where you can protect your wicket. Yes, play baseball, but don't just go out like with your heart on. Play with your heart on sleeve, but just don't like get out in the way you're getting out. Like कहीं ना कहीं से कभी कभी दिखता है फेंक भी दे रहे विकेट जल्दी जल्दी आके.
Yeah, and but it's a matter of perspective. What you told me today in the morning, I'm just trying to pull up that message because
Hmm.
that was a different perspective. You said, what did you say, man? One second, I'm just looking at it. Yeah, too much waiting, lack of runs, crumble under pressure. This is what you're talking about Australia's.
Australia,
So like
yeah,
ulta bol rahe the, right? So like
yeah,
because at
yeah,
that situation you were correct. Like England was
yeah,
bouncing on them, they were taking too much pressure, and if Australia lost this game, you would have said this. Ki, bhai, they played too defensive. Thoda sa shots khelna tha. You don't have to play baseball
yeah.
or something. So it's a matter of perspective, matter of situation. I think the great thing about the series is that they both teams have different styles, and both have shown that they can still win games with those respective styles. England could have won this game easily. Australia could have won this game easily. Yes, you can say
Yeah.
conservative khelna tha. You could have said Australia should have played more attacking, but in the end, it got them the result. And same thing with England.
Yeah.
Yes, it didn't get them the result, but they could have got the result by declaring or whatever it was. This game was still in their hands.
100%. I think at each time you see one of the two had it in their favor. It will never set out for a draw, and that's what's the best thing about this whole test match. Right? Like you, at no point I don't think anyone would have thought that कहीं भी draw हो रहा है, except maybe like I said 23 runs अगर थे 73 वो जो no balls डाले was like incredible amount of no balls that I'm actually that's the only call out I'll have for England because apart from that see yeah hindsight में आप बोल सकते हो but declaration did pay off and everything else was settled like you had it in the trot, you had it right in front of you, 2 wickets to go, 50 runs. You whatever you want, that's like a perfect scenario
Hmm.
in for any team. So for me, I think each of them played amazing. I think Pat Cummins is now like more of a proper batsman. Man, the shots that he played, took his chances, left the tight balls. Hit the loose balls. That's exactly what I wanted Khwaja, Green, and Carey to do. And Carey already had got 2 lives with Joe Root, cotton ball, and the third time
Yeah,
he got it, man.
the patak बोल के मारा था दोनों. It were difficult
Yeah.
catches, but even that catch was really good. And the words of wisdom from Chirag bhai, it's the conviction in your own method than playing aggressive or orthodox. Exactly. I think that's what it is. And look, now you'll see BBC, you'll see Sky Sports, everyone they will criticize. I already saw Nasir Hussain was saying something that New Zealand में भी इन लोग ऐसी करा उन्हें declare हार गए यहाँ पे भी हार गए. You've already beaten Australia since 2001. They haven't won here, and you never played baseball that time. Why are you like you don't need to be this ultra or whatever he was saying? And you'll see other people criticizing it, but again, he's set out to do this, and he's shown that he can still win the game. In this match itself, we both had clear evidence that England could have won this game, right? It was never that
100%.
England cannot win this game until the last 2-3 deliveries, jab 2 runs, 3 runs ho gaye the. Until then, we thought England can win this game. Even when there was 10
Mhm.
runs on the board, I still found England could win this game. So I think it's about the method and conviction. Sometimes you need some stuff to go your way. If that catch sticks, we're saying Ben Stokes is the greatest player in the world ever. That's what we're saying, right?
100%.
Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's a matter of a bit of luck, a bit of things going in your favor. But I think both teams have to be given credit, man. जो cricket खेले भाई जबरदस्त. Pat Cummins, उसको तारीफ जितना भी करो कम है. First of all, he's captain. Then he's
Four
bowling,
wickets.
bro.
Yeah, yeah. Four
He's
wickets in the second session.
4 wickets, unbelievable bowling spell, right? And then उसके बाद batting के साथ the way he locked down and batted like that. And remember, you said like, okay, he smashes it, and he does. But today, what did he do? He changed it. Like you
Mm.
mentioned, his natural game is not to get bogged down. He was aggressive in between, but there was a period of time where he just dropped his wrist.
Dropped
There was
his
a really
wrist.
good ball from Robinson, which could have got the glove, but like he dropped his wrist there. A very good technique, leaving the ball well as well. So I think he was just incredible. This guy's one of the best cricketers in the modern era, man.
And,
Pat Cummins.
and again, like a lot of people criticizing his captaincy the minute he left India to whatever personal reasons he had. Steve Smith came in, won it for them. It became 2-1. His whole thing of Pat Cummins who captain dena chahiye, Steve Smith ko rakho and stuff like that. But Mace jita diya. And now look at if you look at the loss at Oval India had, and now you look at the loss we had, like Australia just won. The margin of whatever Australia beat both the teams, but the 209 runs is hurting us more rather than this baseball and this whole thing, right? So I think that's how I'm going to take it as in England. Yeah, I would not want my team to throw their wickets if they have the capability like England have of smashing it, but just don't throw your wicket on
But but
unnecessary balls. Like
but
every ball,
Faiz,
don't try to go for it.
at least with that approach, whatever it was, they got into winning positions. India were never even 1% going to win that game. Never from
Yeah,
ball one. Like it was.
but that's why I'm saying, at the end of the day, how would you want to lose? That's the thing, right? Like, would
like
you like to
this.
look like this, right? Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
my point is. So that's where Nasser
and I
Hussain jo
think.
bhi bol raha hai, he
Yeah.
could be kept quiet. Like
No,
that's
look,
approach,
Nazir
right?
Hussain, Ricky Ponting, these guys, they like, like yourself as well, want to win. They
Yeah, they
like,
come.
at
Yeah,
any cost. Even if you're playing a gully match, you'll get, you want to win that game. You're playing against
yeah,
me one on one, you want to beat me, right?
yeah,
So I
yeah,
understand that perspective. But if you're looking at the bigger picture, and this new philosophy that he's brought in, it's working. Like he's getting
yeah,
victories also. ऐसा नहीं है कि उन्हें खाली entertain कर रहा और हार रहे नहीं. He was making tactical decisions to get wickets. He was putting fielders in funky positions to get wickets. That
yeah,
umbrella field for Khwaja was to get Khwaja bowled, and he got out, right?
yeah,
It was to get him out. And it's not like he's not thinking to win. He's thinking to win. He's just doing something different. And the problem is in life, we don't like change. We don't like new things. We like the orthodox way. So for some people, I understand it's difficult to digest. But if I'm looking at it, I have no problems. You could call it, maybe I'm biased towards the guy or whatever, but I like his captaincy. I think it's really good. And
oh,
the
yeah,
same thing with Australia, Pat Cummins. I'll tell you something about him, right? It was completely different. It was a very negative captaincy. It wasn't like as positive. In the end, got the result. I wouldn't say his captaincy was that great. Like if you just look at his captaincy in the thing, like he set defensive fields, some of the bowling changes, some of the way they were bowling, it wasn't the greatest. But in the end, he stood there. What mattered? He stood there till the end. He got the winning runs.
yeah,
Also, one thing that I like about Pat Cummins, he is not shy of letting Steve Smith control the field when he's bowling, and that's a
mm.
big thing. To let your ego down. Yes, you're a captain, but I'm bowling right now. I'm in the middle of a 10 over spell. Let my vice captain do the captain.
The only thing he needs to let Steve Smith not do is take reviews because GM and
Yeah, yeah,
Lapuchen जब
that's
भी कुछ
I
लगता है
agree.
वरना हर 2 मिनट को review लेते हैं. But yeah, I mean, see, Pat Cummins again more traditional approach. But when I look at Ben Stokes and throughout the day, it's more important than the field placement stuff. It was also the discipline that England showed in terms of their bowling. They bowled according to the field. Like you see that in usually with India, you see this game plan के भाई next side पे मत डालो off की field है but आप leg पे ही आप drift करोगे. So वो discipline भी बहुत important थी where they were like bowling it hard line and length, short pitch deliveries. They came in busting, they broke the door. They didn't go anywhere. They never tried to bowl too full. They never tried to go leg side because Ben Stokes, like you said, his feet placements were yes unorthodox, but also the bowlers were. It's like they're very well acclimatized with themselves as a team. They know exactly what the other is thinking, and that's
Hmm.
what is also fetching them these kind of matches or these results. But I mean, like I agree with it to a certain extent, this approach of cricket, but also like just a little bit of balance will not hurt anybody. Like you take your time as well, but you do the aggressive approach. Like with Khwaja and Green and Carey, I would say the same thing. They should have hit more runs faster because the pressure did soak in when there was bulk of runs,
Hmm.
but and then towards the end, Carey मारना शुरू करा, 2-3 चौके मारा, he took it, and then Pat Cummins had to hit 2 sixes on 2 balls. So that's where the
Hmm.
game whole dynamic. So that approach does work, but also with a hint of like technical thing as well. It's a balance you have to get. That's it. I think it's not even like outright आप इसको भी मारते जाओ, but yeah, at the end of the day, I have no problem with how England like shaped it because it we got an amazing game out of it. One, we
And
learned a lot of things too. We learned new positions in the field. Three, like there are a lot of things that you could have take back home and understand. And yeah, Moin Ali again, like you said, he got injured. That wasn't factored in. So
yeah,
yeah,
you
for me,
take those things into considerations, like his injury and the drop catches, the no balls, and everything. You take that into consideration, and then you look at the impact on the game. I think
hmm,
the Australian players would be a bit more shocked because everyone was saying इन लोग को आगे निकल के नहीं मार सकते. जो
yeah,
पैट कमिंस को उन्हें रिवर्स छक्का मारा, जो बोलेंट को मारा, राइट, बोलेंट कभी
hmm,
खाया नहीं होगा ऐसा छक्का लाइफ में. उन्हें
yeah,
लाइन एंड लेंथ बोले रहे, उसको जो लाइन से उठा के दे रहा था उन्हें. I think that impact will last longer in the series. You know what I mean?
yeah,
This is still the
yeah, yeah,
first game of the series. There's still 4 matches to play. But if I see just the impact, psychological impact, England have done some damage despite losing. Yes,
yeah.
they've lost the game, but like I said, there are a few factors that you have to consider for that, and they have to learn and improve that. If you're not going to improve that, you're not going to win the series. But if I just look at it impact-wise, I think Australia was still a bit more shocked with England's approach than England's Australia's because Australia still played the more traditional way and everything like that,
Yeah.
and they
So
almost lost the game. So
yeah, in that aspect, like exactly because when you come to another country and you look at their videos, you look at their data analyze कि भाई जो रूट ऐसा खेलता, जो रूट वैसा खेलता, and आगे जो रूट रिवर्स स्वीप मार रहा,
yeah,
आगे स्टुअर्ट बॉल रिवर्स स्वीप मार रहा, so game plan change हो जाता, right? So
huh.
they're like, okay, we weren't ready for this stuff. What is this that they're
Exactly.
playing?
Or जो लोग बोले you can't play baseball against the Australian bowling, they proved it wrong, right? Like
Yeah,
you can play baseball. They were going 5 runs in over and they hit close to 400 runs.
yeah,
That's what it is, right? Like that's exactly their implement. They did that against Pakistan. They did it against India. Now they're doing it against Australia. It's yeah, different mistakes that they made and whatever, even in the fielding, you have to take that into consideration. But like apart from that, like the fact that they can't play this way against Australia, that's a myth now. They can
Yeah,
play this
100.
way. You can continue
Yeah,
to play this way.
and they will play this way. You see it
And
at
I
World
think
Cup
they
as
will
well.
alter at times, because if you see today in the
Yeah,
last 20 runs, उन्हें फील्ड वो कर दिया, स्प्रेड कर दिया, अदरवाइज
spread
ही
कर
वुडंट
दिया.
या
Yeah,
नहीं तो
yeah,
मैच जल्दी खत्म हो जाता था. Like either
yeah,
way, either they would have got a
yeah.
wicket or Australia would have won with half an hour to spare, right?
I'm
उन्हें
pretty
फील्ड
sure Ben Stokes right now is just thinking about, like, this is what I'm thinking about, because I don't know if Ben Stokes is thinking, but 23 runs of no balls, that is just going to probably irritate him a lot. If he had those 23 runs, probably reduced down to 18, let's say five no balls, you're still having 18 extra runs that you had, and the pressure would still mount on them, right? So I think kind of even like this has to be a factor, and Ben Stokes probably knowing that he'll probably be more at, like, on this rather than the other things like
yeah,
declaration and stuff. Like, we gave 23 runs of extras,
indiscipline,
man.
yeah.
That's a lot. So that's indiscipline, and the field is set according to your likabilities. So you're not leaking runs. You're not leaking runs as bowlers, but you're giving away it in extras, in like in a no ball, which is the most like unexpected thing in a test match to do.
Your thoughts on Jimmy not bowling last few overs? Because I mean, Broad
Jimmy
was
का नहीं
getting
चला
tired
यार. That's probably the
uh,
first time I
with the
saw
new
Jimmy
ball.
not. Yeah, I know with the new ball he's lethal, but we've seen that already. Like in the first innings as well. Like he wasn't getting it to move, like shine, or like I don't know what it was. Like Broad looked more threatening because of first his public approach, the way he was pumping up the ground and the height that he has, and the shorter one was what we saw that whole over. He took body shots. Pat Cummins, you saw, Joe Root was right there at silly point. So that was the game plan, I think. And for Jimmy, he would probably have to pull in tremendous amount of Yorkers to get anything out of this thing, because moving to itna bhi nahi tha. It wasn't like it was outright moving and swinging conditions. I think धूप भी आ गई थी थोड़ी, तो उसके हिसाब से भी I think he took a call.
I think also that giving that route one more over with that older
Yeah,
ball, that was a
yeah.
really good call. I think got that wicket of Carey,
Wicket
was
of
it?
Kerry. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good call as well. Bringing himself on and getting Khwaja wicket, that was a really good call as well. So in general, like he did also make really good calls. So you have to take that into perspective. And people who are like laughing at it, saying you can't do this, you can't do that, it was still a very good game. It was like, I mean, England played well. It wasn't like you can't criticize them too much. There are places where you have to criticize them, and we will criticize them, but in general, like you can't really laugh off this. This is a real team,
No.
and they have a real plan. And from
No.
Australia also, you have to look, they're world test champions. They fought hard in India. They beat India in the WTC as well. In India itself, I was saying they fought hard. And
Yeah.
it's a tough team to beat, and they showed that right now. But there's going to be areas. This is another 4 matches to play. Will Pat Cummins be able to sustain this level of performance over 5 games? That's also another question, right? Because it's a question of fitness, question of resolve, resources, and he might have to play all 5 games. He's captain as well. You can rotate Mitchell Stark and Boland and these guys, but Cummins might have to play. So that's another question. And yeah, I think there's still a long way to go in the series, and we'll only judge everything after. Look, if England lose this series 3-0, and then I'm sure, yeah, then we can criticize even more. But right now, at this stage, it's still a 50-50 series. It can go anywhere. And we had it the whole time this match. We didn't know कहाँ जाने वाला है मैच. In the morning मैं उठा, हम लोग समझे ऑस्ट्रेलिया जीतने वाले, फिर हम लोग समझे इंग्लैंड जीतने वाले, इंग्लैंड जीतेंगे, इंग्लैंड जीते, फिर ऑस्ट्रेलिया जीत गई. वैसा, like it's going to keep changing, and the series is going to be like that as well.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, I think for England, the biggest concern अभी मैं जो देख रहा हूँ is the spinner, right? Where are they going to get Moeen Ali अगर उसका finger नहीं आया? Doesn't, I know they have Joe Root. Again, he's not the most like.
No, they'll have to go and get like Parkinson or like Dawson or somebody like.
Yeah.
They have to go and get a spinner from the county championship, and play him, because Moeen Ali won't be able to play the next game, bro.
Yeah, he already lost like all the layers of his skin, and he was basically close to his bone or something. And that's how
Yeah.
he was bowling, and he still managed to get that wicket.
Yeah, and I'm not even
incredible.
going to say that, okay, if Jack Leach was there, they would have been better off. No, if Moeen Ali was
Nah.
fit, they would have been better off, because
Yeah.
the ball was.
He would have
coming in.
batted well more as well.
उसका
Probably.
ball देखो, Cameron Greenwood, that was giving me enough indication that this was the right call. He can turn the ball, right? So and you saw, I don't know if you saw the press conference yesterday. Nathan Lyon को पूछे थे उंगली के बारे में. So it's like basically it's telling a singer who lost his vocal cords to go and perform on the concert.
Oh, that's
deep. What it is, like that finger injury. He said, yeah, I have
had those.
I've had these before. And they also asked him, do you have any method and things like apparently his Graham Swan used to dip his finger and piss, like so he's like, yeah, I have my methods, but I'm not going to tell you what I do in my hotel room. That's what he told the journalist. But yeah, like, I mean, if you look at it in context, it's a very concerning injury for off spinner, because that is the spinning finger. You use that finger to turn the ball into the right hander. So yeah, Yeah,
Yeah, I
Nitesh
think
going. Yeah.
yeah, very big point over here. I think he's saying taking the new ball backfired for England, no swing, but it went faster to the outfield, and I think I agree with that as well. Like you saw the difference from the Joe Root over. I mean, obviously, Joe Root wicket to wicket ज़्यादा था, but when a fast bowler came on with a new ball, maybe they were in hopes के थोड़ा overcast दिख रहा था,
मगर उन
and
लोग
like
जब तक
maybe, but it
बीस
wasn't
तीस
working.
मार
हो
दिए थे
गया,
कमिंस और लाइन
yeah,
ओल्ड बॉल के साथ तो
comfort
ही
हो गए
हैड
थे.
टू टेक इट इफ यू सी पॉन्टिंग एंड थिंग वाज गोइंग क्रेजी व्हाई दे टेकिंग द न्यू बॉल व्हाई दे टेकिंग द न्यू बॉल एंड देन लिए न्यू बॉल फिर उन्हें खुद बोल रहा actually the new was not swinging too much ball ke like so in
Yeah.
that situation when the runs are coming through like even with the old ball when it comes aage badh ke do chhakke diya tha right I think that's when he made the decision listen we need to try something different and I don't think it backfired against them but yes the new ball didn't move too much
Yeah, it was just
100%.
some the last tactic जो बोलते हैं ना, the last hope जो बोलते हैं, I think that's what England went for. I mean, yeah, new नहीं लेना था new ball and stuff, but like Mustafa said, already 55 रन की partnership थी. Probably एक विकेट गिरी एलेक्स कैरी की उसके साथ जो रूट के सामने, but उसके अलावा like again, you know, Stuart Broad tried everything. He gave him body shots. He was just leaving it, and कहीं ना कहीं settle हो गए थे ये लोग. And I think yeah, I think it was just the last
the
resort that they had in their
I think they missed Mark Wood
pockets.
in this game, and you'll see him at Lords. Extra
Yeah,
pace,
I
90 kilometers, 90 miles per hour.
कहीं ना कहीं I
Uh,
feel yeah, Mitchell Stark will also come in the
Yeah, I
second
think
one
you
as well.
need that extra pace here in England. It'll cause more problems because even Robinson, thoda sa bouncerong ke saath like trouble kar raha tha, but he's not as quick. I think Mark Wood bowling at that pace, he would have wiped out the tail. I think, or maybe be a bit more closer to wiping out the tail than these guys.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, look, you know, you talk about Edgbaston in 2005. वहां पे उल्टा हुआ था Australia were on the losing side over here they're on the winning side as the fine margins the main thing is we got entertainment it went at the last ball people who don't even watch test cricket as much they were talking
They're
about it
watching,
today
yeah.
like you know everybody is watching this thing this is better than IPL and that just shows like what test cricket is especially in England because of the conditions like Faiz mentioned it's a very important thing जब overcast हो जाता है एकदम से swing होता है जब sun आता है it's good to bat on कभी turn हो जाता तो England produces unpredictable you know conditions and pitches and everything and it was a great advert for the game man I really enjoyed it
100%. I think that's why we love watching matches in England, and like the results are always astonishing. And today also, आप देख लो like till the end, I think everybody was like still कहीं ना कहीं एक wicket जाना. Even the people are probably supporting us like one wicket for just for the drama, you know, just for the drama. अगर Lyon and
yeah
like someone else
I'm not gonna lie I wanted one wicket like
one wicket, and it would have
yeah
been like a 50-50. Like I don't know what it would have been. It would have just been something else. I mean, you would
but we
see
did get like
Josh
you just
Hazelwood come out to bat, who could also bat a bit. Hazelwood
yeah
can also bat. So
averaging
it's
12 मगर
yeah.
आप देखो पूरा दिन ऐसा रोलर कोस्टर था यार like you know
पहले तो
और
बारिश हो गई, एंड बारिश के
हाँ
बाद जस्ट पटाखे फूटे यार, पूरा टाइम
हाँ,
में वो जस्ट
पूरा उलट
फायरवर्क
पुलट
फ्रॉम.
और ऐसा दिख रहा था ख्वाजा जिता देंगे फिर उन्हें आउट हो गया बट जस्ट अ वर्ड ऑन ख्वाजा ब्रो like 100 and then 50 in the second innings match winning knock he was man of the match incredible batting the way he's turned around we've already talked about this the way he's turned around his career but to step up like this being Australia's main batsman and the responsibility which he batted with it allowed you know Alex Carey Pat Cummins to come play some shots as well and play a bit more because he got the target down to a certain situation where yes it's still a long way to go but Australia can try to hit it out and get close and that's what exactly Pat Cummins did but it was Khwaja who set the tone right
Yeah. For me, see, it's just like the way he took responsibility. It showed when he got his 50 and he wasn't just like wanting to celebrate. And Green just told him, like, you know, hey, you're on 50, congrats, buddy. But like, he just wanted to take them all the way through. I'm pretty sure he's upset that he didn't. मतलब पूरा एंड तक लेके जाने का एक अलग मजा है, right? As an opener, you come and you stand there the whole day and you manage to get your team to a victory. But he did, like you said, get them through a victory spot. First session again, 100 or like standing there, impeccable amount of time. We've seen him in India score 100. We've seen him in Pakistan score 100. He's come back like buzzing next level.
and back
Uh,
foot defense was so good man it feels
super.
like उन्हें plum
Man,
हो सकता है if he misses that you know
just
like
his hands come last minute and there's like some,
yeah
like he just brings it somehow, and it perfect amount of like he just knows okay by ball come land ho raha, and very good you know anticipation of the ball movement. I think I've seen that today when like a couple of occasions on Ollie Robinson in particular his bowling, it moved away and he just knew it. Usually you see people leaving it hitting the wickets or it's always been clean with this guy. I haven't seen like oops मैं गलती कर दिया types. He just knows like bounce होते कि किधर जा सकता क्या हो सकता. Very strong defense, and yeah, I think impeccable amount of patience.
Yeah, I mean, incredible, man. This guy, this innings is going to be, both innings is going to be remembered for a long time, man. Usman Khwaja
One
ka
of the
double.
innings today that's also going to be remembered is Sikandar Razak's 100 of 54, bringing
Yeah, bro.
Zimbabwe against Netherlands. Man, he's 4 wickets and
That's
104
the
or something.
fastest 100 for a Zimbabwean,
Fast
right?
over, yeah, for Zimbabwe. Yeah,
उन्हें क्रॉस कितना खेलता है and he gets away with it, man. I don't know, just completely smashed it today. It was an incredible innings.
yeah, 100%, man. Like something else, and in the 315 chase कर रहे थे. I mean,
40
Sikandar
ओवर
Razak,
में
40 ओवर में.
उन्हें भी मारा यार कौन था यार वो दूसरा
Sean
शॉन
Williams, yeah.
शॉन हाँ शॉनी उसका भी स्ट्राइक रेट 150 कुछ ऊपर था but yeah they both smashed it with 10 overs to spare they chased 315 bro that's
And
incredible
Sikandar
and
Razak also got 4 wickets, man.
four
Like that's
wickets yeah
incredible. It's like 55 runs,
probably
4 wickets.
in the last year he's been one of the best all-rounders in the world man Sikandar in the limited
Easily,
overs format
easily,
he's been
yeah.
incredible India के against भी 100 मारा था नहीं उन्हें Zimbabwe में last year
And this was the same Sikandar Razak जो IPL में अच्छा खेले जब बिठा दे रहे थे. So it was
वो
so
तो
weird to
पंजाब
see
के
that.
लिए
Like
खेला बोल के
I didn't understand that one bit, but yeah, he was amazing against India last year. He was against even in the T20 World Cup. He had a few decent performances, and he's still shining. And yeah, Nepal beat USA in the second match today. Yeah, I mean, I think someone did get a century in the US as well. I mean, it's so weird. I'm saying like someone in the US when it comes to cricket, but times are changing. Huh? Now we see in the Oman, in the US, in Nepal. So
Shan
yeah, Nepal,
Jhangir
man. Yeah, Chiang Jangir.
Jahangir, oh, yeah. But you know
Jangir.
what the most surprising thing for me was Lama Chennai. He didn't pick up a wicket, got hit 58 runs. I thought Une
Oof.
Lelinga hat trick, but yeah, he's like the most experienced, like their best bowler, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, again, what's his name? Bhurtal, he's batting well. He got them after a decent start, and Bhim Sharki hit like 70 odd, I think. Une bhi acha batting kara. And a very good win for Nepal. Tomorrow, I
Yeah,
think
man.
we have a couple of games as well in the qualifiers.
Yeah, right now
This,
Nepal is third, and I think yeah, Netherlands is last. Zimbabwe is top with 2 wins.
yeah, we'll just take a few comments before we wrap. I wouldn't have mind lost if India put fight like this on finally. We surrendered without any fight in morning
You
session.
would have
Yeah,
probably been the only third Indian after me, Mustafa, who would probably agree to that point. Well, after us, if we put on a fight and we got out, then they would anyway would have got criticized. So like, I think the approach with
so that
India can't be like
you
that
know
right
one
now.
thing that I've learned from Ben Stokes and I'm applying it to myself as well when I play or whatever like that. Don't fear losing. You lose.
Yeah.
You go to the next thing. But like it's about giving it your best shot, entertaining the crowd, having fun. Like and they had fun, bro. The way they're playing, this guy is like doing things which are unthinkable, and it didn't really cost them much. It's not like they played reverse sweeps and got all out for 50 right against
Hmm.
Australia. They took them down to the wire, and I think that's with India. They in big match situations they cannot take risks or they don't want to take risks because they're scared they're going to lose. डर के मत खेलो देखो आप हारेंगे मैचेस वैसे ही तो हार गए आप 50 पे दोनों हारे मगर which match was better this by miles right so it's about your your mentality your approach backing like you don't have to play baseball but आप थोड़ा डर के मत खेलो don't go into a shell
अब फर्क बहुत है मुझसे यहाँ पे लाइक मेरे हिसाब से काफी फर्क है इन इंग्लैंड एंड इन इंडियन टीम पहले तो जब लंबी रस्सी है दे मीन व्हाट अ लंबी रस्सी is England do give that longest of long ropes. Zach Roy is 1 year in this team and he performed in the first test right now after like a long
भाई
time he
केएल
did
राहुल
score
को
a
भी तो
century
मिला
as well.
था रोप
एक प्लेयर को right like this is I'm talking about 11 proper test people against like one or two people right so it's like your opener keeps changing Rohit Sharma gets injured वो team change होते रहती so they don't keep playing together in and day out and again everybody when Stokes says something they listen to him they want to win for him we don't have an established captain right now since like probably Emil Tony like
no
maybe you
even
don't
when
see
we
that
even
camaraderie
when
in
we
that team right
like
yeah
even when we had like there's always the scared भाई हार जाएंगे मैच हार जाएंगे जीत बहुत important है but I think
Hmm.
if you get your methods right the results will come and Owen Morgan showed that now Ben Stokes is showing it the results will come yeah there will be times where you're going to lose but if you're going to lose like this there's no harm in that भाई sport है आप हर मैच जीतेंगे जीतेंगे तो नहीं right कभी हारेंगे कभी जीतेंगे and if you're going to listen to the England press today they're going to hammer them I know that they will criticize a lot of them will criticize Ben Stokes they will criticize especially the traditional ones I can tell you already Jonathan Agnew who's the host of the BBC
yeah
Test Match
BBC
Special podcast and he commentates on the BBC he's going to rip into him I know that right like maybe Michael Vaughan will be a bit less Nasser Hussain will be a bit less, but everyone will criticize somewhere or the other. But I'm looking at it from modern day cricket, from the way I'm watching the game right now. I think there is no harm losing like this. Yes, there are ways you need to like if he's going to lose the Ashes, he will be criticized. But the fact that he's not worried about the result, he wants to play good cricket. It makes his team look good as well. I mean, you see Joe Root's innings. That's probably one of the best innings I've seen. Like that 100 that hitting reverse sweeps, playing some traditional shots as well. It was incredible. So I think, and the field sets that he had, it was very entertaining. I learned a lot of things. I learned that you can put a fielder right at the back. I mean, I knew that kind of. I've seen Pollard and stuff field there as well. But we learn new things under this kind of thing. Yes, we don't like change. We like to be traditional, but I have no harm if you lose like this. There's no issues with that.
There's no harm to that, but again, there's so many things that'll go into it. Like first, your captain and coach have to be that in sync, and then your coach and captain.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
because
It's difficult to
so
implement. But
implement here.
that's why we have to give him credit. It's also
Yeah,
very difficult.
wi-
देखो, the only difference is that India में population ज़्यादा है तो और criticism मिलेगा, ठीक है, which is a big factor. But if you see in England, they're even more rigid, like to doing this. Imagine कोई 60-year-old Jeffrey Boycott. Do you think he'll be understanding what's happening? Like he'll be pissed, right? Like if they're gonna play shots like this, you think he's gonna be like उन्हें नहीं वो करेंगे. But the fact that they've done this, it's a big achievement in itself.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think you just have to keep going and then see where it takes you. But he has results to show as well. So
They went to try too much at the end, bouncer down the leg off stump के बाहर रखते काफी time तो आ जाती. Yeah, I think that's also one thing. Like you do tend to sort of get nerves अंदर आ जाते आपके कि we're so close, but we just have to try everything in the book, and then you वो उसमें आप discipline थोड़ा lose कर दे. आपसे look at the mindset that they had at the beginning of the day, right? Like whatever, it was like past 6-7 o'clock that the day started. I think 6:45 India time. So at that time I'm thinking okay, bhai, yeah, we have to get in this and then discipline. But once you know that the chips are going down, boundaries are going, runs are, you sort of get pressured as a bowler,
yeah.
and
And they
try
both
to
got
throw
out to the
everything.
short ball in the first inning, so they were just trying to
Yeah.
attack that. That's what they were trying to do. Just play on last innings weakness, basically.
Yeah, we've taken this one. Will Stokes declare? 100%. I think he's going
Yeah,
to declare, and if they win, he's going to prove a point. I think that's how he is.
yeah.
He's not going to get phased away by anything, and that's Ben Stokes for you, right? You saw that he was got, but we did at the end of the day get entertained. We could see all kind of results, and yeah, like I think I agree with
Uh,
this
f-
to an
f-
extent, but like yeah.
I'll ask you a question. You can answer me honestly, whatever you feel. You tell me, like when Australia were batting and England were batting, what did you enjoy more?
Yeah, honestly, they go again like the
I
glimpses
know
of
the
this.
answer, but like I know the
In,
answer straight away, but I'll still ask you.
Nah, I enjoyed England's batting 100%, but like
Australia, you
Khwaja, the
got
way
bored at times, right?
at times you did get bored, but again, resilience from Khwaja, that's like what Test cricket is about, right? Like that's what you probably also enjoy, like him making up an innings, building it, and setting the roadmap, and probably guiding them all the way home. So there are two ways of looking at it, but yeah, England any day with the drama and
You're
stuff,
more
the
edge of
bits
your
don't
seat, and that's what he
edge
wants to
of
do. He wants to put you on the edge
yeah.
of it. That's simple as that's his method. I'm not saying what is correct. They're both correct approaches. Like Chirag Bhai said, they're both correct approaches. But what did you like more? That's like for I love Test cricket. I like if he blocks it out all day, I'll enjoy that. But if you
Yeah.
ask me what's more, it's the way England batted because I've not seen something like that. Test cricket में imagine Lords में सब सूट वूट पहन लेंगे अरे उन्हें रैंप खेल रहा भाई फर्स्ट बॉल जस्ट इमेजिन दिस सीन्स
वो भी
एंड दैट
जो
इज
रूट को चेंज कर दिया यार उसका सोचो जो रूट वन ऑफ दोस पीपल हु वाज डिफेंसिव
हाँ
माइंडेड
और फर्स्ट
एंड
बहुत
देन दैट
पॉश
हैज
जगह
कम
है वो लॉर्ड्स में सुना
yeah
मैं देखने में कभी गया नहीं बट आई वाज क्लोज टू द विसिनिटी एंड एवरी सेट वहां पे भाई मैं ऐसा ट्रैक पैंट पहन के नहीं जा सकता हूँ वहां पे पूरा लाइक प्रॉपर पॉश रहता आई मीन यू कैन वेयर लाइक डिफरेंट क्लोथ्स बट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर टिप टॉप एंड दे ड्रेसिंग लाइक दे कम टू अ वेडिंग एंड वहां पे अगर उन्हें रैंप मारेंगे तो मजा आ जाएगा यू विल एंजॉय इट ब्रो
100%. Rate these three test matches, which was the best in 2023. New Zealand versus England, where I think they won by a run. New Zealand versus Sri Lanka, where New Zealand won with one ball to go, I think. And England versus Australia, which is today.
Man, the New Zealand Sri Lanka game, I don't know. For me, it was the New Zealand England game.
The best one, the first one.
What like in terms of that
Top
was
three, like
that was
yeah,
crazy.
that was
But
bad. Yeah,
but this one with the crowd fans like and just the way it went, it was incredible. I think like that's why like I like. But if you ask me what was a better game, probably that. But what did I enjoy more? This of course because I watched the thing. That one I didn't watch every single ball. Here I watched every single ball, so I enjoyed it like that.
day five Australia, but day one England. Yeah, I think like today was a mix of both day Australia
Yeah, but you
completely didn't
also
take it
enjoyed
away, man.
England's bowling
Yeah.
at times here, like the
That's
wickets
one thing.
crashing.
Australia didn't completely take the day away from me. Like they won the match, that's secondary. But like when you saw Green get out, when you saw Khwaja get out, when you saw these guys get out, Carey get out, then you all like shit.
Yeah,
30
even in
runs
the
to go
beginning,
and
जब
stuff
Travis
like that.
had out हुआ, you
Yeah,
told me that like yes, I नहीं खेल सकते बोल के, right? So
yeah,
to a certain extent, like they did put pressure on themselves, but it worked out in the end. And same thing with England. If they won, we wouldn't have been having this conversation about declaration or anything like that.
yeah, 100%. I think like in hindsight or anything, I think I agree with what Ben Stokes did. I mean, I'm not gonna get too carried away because the declaration happened, but they came far away from that
Yeah.
point. Like Australia were down, they had them almost on their knees and just like
And that's a
took
huge
the
win
match
for him
together.
because you're a type. I mean, like maybe he doesn't know us, but like you're a type of guy who would have criticized this kind of approach, right? Like
Yeah, yeah,
but the fact that you understand, you watching England for the last 7 8 months very closely, you're
yeah, yeah.
understanding what the concept is, and this is not your
But
first match under Rasbo.
watch out for one guy next match, man. Harry Brook, just watch out for him. I'm telling you, man. He got very unlucky this match.
Yeah, Harry Brook, yeah, 100%. He's an incredible
He's
batsman, bro.
gonna.
He was the second best batsman in
This
this.
channel supports Harry Brook. This
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
Harry Brook channel.
This Harry Brook ever wants to come on or wants to like share anything on the show, he's more than welcome.
Yeah,
He's a world class player, man.
chasing
Uh,
the Brook, baby.
yeah, only cover के ऊपर जो ठोकता वाह 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 जबरदस्त. But yeah, it was today's Pat Cummins day, man. Incredible. He won the
Yeah,
game
those two
for
sixes, man. There's those two sixes, really incredible. He took a risk. He came out of it and see the down the ground,
Postman Pat and his black and white cat Nathan Lyon, finishing it for
man.
Australia. Yeah, it was just like some feeling that this guy, like one of the captains will step up. When Stokes got Quaj out, maybe it looked like it'll be Stokes' day, but then Pat Cummins had the last say, and he is a good batsman, man. I've seen him bat in different situations against different teams. He is a good batsman, very good cricketer. I think he's right up there. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Anything else you want to add?
Nothing else. I think yeah, it's just been an amazing, amazing day of cricket. I think amazing 5 days of cricket. If I'm going to put it very honestly, I know rain thoda but spoiled the fourth day and stuff, and yeah, it's just been something else. And watch out, 4 more test matches to go. I don't know what's yet to come. If this is the start, like I can't wait for the second, third,
Yeah,
and
there's the women's Ashes in a couple
yeah,
of
one-off
days.
match, right? It's a
Yeah,
one-off match.
and then we'll have the match at Lords. So it'll be a bit of a break, and then we have the match at Lords. So I don't
Wednesday,
know.
next Wednesday is the match. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys will be watching, but we will definitely be
Oh,
watching.
I
So
can't wait to be watching, man. Lords,
yes,
especially in Lords,
yeah,
man.
it's
That's like yeah,
at the
proper.
Lords. Yeah, proper. I mean, yeah, but Edgbaston crowd also hats off to them. They were crazy, very loud, incredible. You're gonna see.
There's
You know what?
Lords, there's Manchester, there's the Oval, and there's
The
one
main one you're forgetting is the one I'm looking forward to. Leeds.
Leeds, of course.
हेडिंगली
Yeah,
ब्रो वहां पे
Headingley.
हैलोवीन रहता डे 3 पे फेस्ट या
Yeah,
सैटरडे पे जो भी पड़ता सैटरडे पे हैलोवीन रहता वहां पे वो
yeah,
सबसे क्रेजी क्राउड रहने वाला है सो yeah, I mean, looking forward to hopefully the weather holds up. We saw a bit of rain in this test match, but that didn't, postpone any. I mean, it still allowed a result. So hopefully we'll
yeah,
have, some more cricket and some exciting cricket. We'll also get some content down in the next couple of days and join us throughout the week. We'll talk about the qualifiers. We'll talk about the women's ashes, and we'll lead up to Lords as well. I think we already anticipate. We can't wait, man. It's just a week, around a week, but
yeah. Wednesday, next Wednesday,
yeah, there's going to
28th.
be there's going to be a lot of postmortem about this game. Everyone's going to be discussing declaration, this, that, and everything. But in a few days' time, we'll be looking forward to Lords. We'll be talk about the pitch. There'll be talk about the toss. There'll be talk about
England win the toss, bat 600 one day, and khalas, they'll be ready to go again.
yeah, and then over there, there's the slope that you have to consider, what type of pitch and everything. There'll be a lot of things to discuss, and like I said, like people also said flat pitch, have a bit of movement, have grass because that's how you beat Australia. But at the same time, you have to remember this Australian bowling attack is also high class. It's better than the ones which toured in 2015, and you would say 2019 also Australia didn't win, but they almost did, right? It was 2-2. So in the last 4 or 5 years, Australia's attack has been probably much better than it was from 2007-8 onwards.
Yeah.
So you have to take that into consideration as well. So
Lots of things, man. Like lots of things into content. Mark Butcher will be smiling on Wisden as he was proven right. England can't finish off the tail to save their lives. Oh, yeah, I think India can as well. But now with Moeen Ali injured, do you think Rehan Ahmed could be? Yeah, I think Rehan can be called. But there's Jack Leach. Is Jack Leach injured?
No, he's injured. He's injured. There's no
He's
Jack
injured.
Lee.
So then, yeah,
They
maybe Rehan can.
they might go for an off spinner, but you can't counter anything out with Ben Stokes. If he wants, he can go with Ryan Ahmed as well. You can't
If
counter
he wants, he'll
anything out.
probably go and sit and fix Moeen Ali's finger also
Yeah,
for all
like
he cares.
yeah, he's out of the
That's right.
box. तो उन्हें कुछ भी कर सकता. And about the tail and everything, yeah, maybe they didn't finish it off, but then again, you have to consider the injury to Moeen Ali. That was also a big factor to that. Moeen Ali is bowling more deliveries. He's taking wickets in that, especially when there's 2 wickets left. Moeen Ali is picking up one if he's like fully fit. I think because of the niche of the pitch and everything, and the way he bowled in the first innings, I was confident that he picked up wickets. So you have to take that into consideration. Now आगे जाके देखेंगे उन लोग अगर fully fit bowling के साथ भी नहीं कर सकते tail, because if you see in the first innings they actually wiped out the tail, England, and Australia also struggled. They couldn't get Robinson, Broad, and Anderson out for a while, right? Australia would be chasing 220, not 280. If
100%.
yeah,
Yes.
so like you have to look at Australia as well. So I think that also you have to give credit to both the teams who are batting till number 11. Every player is taking responsibility कि भाई हम खेलेंगे. तो ये भी आपको factor in करना पड़ेगा. But yeah, that wraps it up, brah.
Yeah, 100%. And just looking forward to the next one. Can't wait. And whatever it is, like traditional, like versus baseball, it's just interesting to kind of approach it. And you, somewhere down the line, you're learning new things. Somewhere down the line, you stick to your old method as well.
Yeah.
That's what the beauty of the Ashes is, I think.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. With that, yeah, we'll join you guys hopefully soon. And yeah, 1-0 Australia at this point. Waiting for the next one.
Pat Cummins gonna hit the winning runs.
And he did. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks.